So we've talked a lot about Chinese 8-ball, but you've actually just won another tournament after coming back from your Chinese 8-ball win.
Yeah.
So tell us about that then, the World Championship.
Well, it's sort of a bit of a strange one really, because what happened was, obviously after I came back from winning the Masters for the second time, obviously I hadn't played any English pool for 5 or 6 months, and I mean, none. So I'd already committed to playing in the Black Ball World Championships down at Lakeside, to show me support for, the IPA, and so I'd agreed to play. So I'd literally just had one session of English pool leading up to the World Championships down at Lakeside, and obviously went down there and happened to win the tournament, which was, to be honest, a complete surprise to me, because the transition from playing with these balls on this table with these rules to going back to the small balls and the small cue and stuff, it was a real it was hard, to be honest. So I was actually really shocked that I went there and won the tournament, and obviously over the moon, because it's just a great way for me to finish playing English pool.
Yeah, no, exactly. So you mentioned about back your cue there.
Yeah.
So did you go back to using your English pool cue, or?
Well, no. Again, this is another funny one, because I actually picked my English pool cue up to have a practice before I went down to the Lakeside, like I say, after 5 months, and it just looked like a chopstick to me. It just looked tiny. So I actually made the decision to use a snooker cue, which was a sort of an in-between size of my Chinese 8-ball cue and my English cue. I played with sort of a 9.5mm tip, where my English cue's got an 8, I think it's 8.2 mil. So obviously I played with a cue at English pool that I'd never played English pool with before, and obviously happened to go down and win. So yeah, it was quite incredible, really.
So in terms of when you look back through the tournament and how you played, you did play some really good pool there, didn't you, on the way through?
Yeah, I played some really good pool, and I also played some not so good pool, to be honest. But I just knew that if I could win a couple of matches, then I would because that's what I grew up playing. So I knew that I'd sort of get back into the routine, and you never forget how to ride a bike, sort of thing. So I knew the more matches that I played, the more I would sort of settle in and start to feel a little bit more comfortable. And without doubt, the best I played was in the final against Clint. So obviously I was really pleased to play the way I did in the final. And I said before I went that would be my last English 8-ball tournament. So it's obviously just a great way for me to bow out and actually win the IPA World Championships, and sort of leave it there.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of players that are pleased to hear that you're retiring from the game now. There's some good talent coming through, though, isn't there? There's
some amazing talent coming through, and Clint Jansen, one especially, the lad who I beat in the final. I think he's got a big future. I love the way he plays the game. Reminds me of the way that I used to play English 8-ball. I love his game, love his temperament, and he's a really nice lad. So I think if he continues to improve, the last 18 months, he's sort of come on leaps and bounds, and if he continues to improve and play the game and dedicate himself to it, then I believe that he can dominate at the game. But not only that, there's a lot of Welsh players, there's like Simon Ward and Craig Marsh, Ben Davies. There's a lot of them that are really good. Christophe Lambert, the French number one's also really good.
Well this year.
He's had an unbelievable season. Travelling over from France for every tournament, he's had an incredible season. So there's a lot of good players, and I would encourage anybody that's going to start playing English 8-ball to join the IPA, and because that's the professional association, and that's the only place to be playing pool. There's another association, which is the EPA, which is now the amateur association. And just for people that don't really know what happened there was, there was a couple of years ago, the EPA actually made a breakaway tour from the IPA, and a lot of the people that were at the top did some sort of a lot of underhanded things, and they broke away, you know, without the professionals knowing really, and set up an amateur organisation. The professionals made a stance and said, right, you know, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stick with the IPA of what we've always done. So now the EPA is an amateur organisation. Their World Championships, everything is as an amateur World Championships. So there's absolutely no credibility there in that, or anything that they do, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as any of the other top players are concerned. So any young players or anyone out there that's looking to you know, to get into pool and to get into pool at a top level, then, you know, the IPA would be the way forward.
What is it? What do you, I know you're not playing it this year, but in terms of 2014 for the IPA, then how many tours have they got going on through this year?
Yeah, well, they've got 5 tours, which is all over the UK. I think from ranging from Wales to Scotland, you know, down to London. So they've got tournaments that are scattered sort of all over the UK. Including, there's going to be the World Championships again down at the Lakeside, and I think the prize money is sort of going up all the time. So yeah, I think, you know, the IPA hopefully over the next couple of years is going to grow and grow, and certainly, like I say, with the talent that they've got there, I think that, you know, it's got a future. Well,
congratulations on bowing out at the
Thank
top.
you.
So 4 World Championships. It's a great record.
Yeah, thanks very much. And, you know, obviously, you know, to win the last ever English 8-ball tournament that I'm probably likely to play is obviously a great way, you know, for me to go out of a sport that I've played since I was, you know, 7 years old. So just the perfect way now, and I can obviously just concentrate on my Chinese 8-ball and my career out in China.
Great.
Thank you.
So for more pool videos from Gareth Potts, please visit homeledgerdirect.com/pool.